What do a $40 late fee and a cartoon mouse have in common? Once upon a time, each sparked a revolution. In the next 8 minutes, we'll uncover how Netflix and Disney turned a penalty and a pen and ink into entertainment empire. In the world of entertainment, two giants stand tall. Netflix, the streaming disruptor, and Disney, the century-old magic maker. Both companies changed how we experience story. But how? The secret lies not in their cash or assets, but in their intangibles. The invisible forces of culture and creativity that drive their success. Our first story begins in 1997 in California. Reed Hastings, a software entrepreneur, just got hit with a $40 late fee at Blockbuster for an overdue VHS tape. Frustrated, he wondered, what if movie could be rented for a flat monthly rate, no late fees? That spark of creativity born from annoyance led Hastings and co-founder Mark Randolph to start Netflix in Los Gatos, CA. Their idea, DVD movies delivered by mail, ordered from website, convenient and no more late fees. Picture the late 90s. Red envelopes start arriving in mailboxes, each holding a DVD. No due dates, no late fines, just a monthly subscription. This was a radical cultural shift in home entertainment. By 2000, Netflix even approached Blockbuster to sell for $50 million and got laughed out of the room. Blockbuster didn't see the future coming. In fact, the established player couldn't imagine that a small startup could change these rules. But Netflix culture was just getting started. Netflix didn't just innovate on what it delivered, but how the company itself ran. Hastings crafted a now famous Netflix culture depth called freedom and responsibility. It preached a unique culture where adequate performance get generous severance, and employees are given huge autonomy. No formal vacation policy, no micromanaging, just a focus on innovation and high performance. This culture, trusting talent and rewarding creativity, become Netflix's invisible superpower. And it actually worked. With this culture fueling bold decisions, from mailing DVD to streaming video to producing original shows, Netflix grew to over 300 million globally, more than any TV network could dream of. The culture of freedom empowered Netflix to pivot and reinvent itself time and again. But culture alone isn't enough. Creativity had to take center stage. Netflix used its culture to take creative risk. In 2013, Netflix debuted House of Cards.
Never regret.
Its first original series made not for TV, but for streaming. Critics call it a gamble, pouring money into show released all at once online. That gamble paid off. House of Cards earned 9 Emmy nominations, making history as the first streaming show to be a major awards contender. From there, Netflix unleashed a creative storm. Think Stranger Things, The Crown, Money Heist, content that pushed boundary and captivated the world. Netflix story sounds almost magical. But speaking of magic, it's time to rewind to 1923 for our second story. Enter Walt Disney, a man with mouse and a dream. Now travel back a century. It's 1923. A 21-year-old nominator named Walt Disney arrives in Hollywood with just a suitcase and $40 in his pocket. That year, Walt and his brother Roy Disney founded the Disney Brothers Studio in a small office in Los Angeles. Walt had just failed in Kansas City. His first studio went bankrupt, yet he refused to give up. In 1928, facing another setback, Walt's response was pure creativity. He sketched a new character, a cheerful mouse named Mickey. Mickey Mouse debuted in Steamboat Willie that year's stunned audience. Walt had turned failure into new creative breakthrough. The era of Disney magic had begun. Creativity was Disney's superpower. Walt nurtured an atmosphere where artists were encouraged to dream big. By 1937, when skeptics called his plan for a future feature-length cartoon Disney's Folly, Walt poured creativity into Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, the first animated feature film. It became a blockbuster hit and won an honorary Oscar. From there, Disney's creative moment was unstoppable. Fantastical films like Pinocchio, technological firsts like multi-plane camera for 3D effects, and later bold expansion beyond film. Walt also built a culture around wholesome imagination and relentless quality. At Disney Studio, he insists on excellence in every frame. At the theme park he envisioned, Disneyland opened in 1955. He created a culture of customer experience so strong that employees weren't staff, they were actually cast members, performing a role. This culture of magic and courtesy became an intangible asset. Families didn't just watch Disney, they believed in it. Every ride, every film had to carry that special Disney touch. The result? Walt Disney still holds the record for the most Oscar ever won by an individual. 22 Academy Awards. 22. Disney's creative brilliance wasn't just popular, it was acclaimed at the highest levels. And beyond awards, think of the intangible value Disney created. Beloved characters, childhood memories, a brand synonymous with magic. These are things you can't put on a balance sheet. But they've propelled Disney for 100 years. So, we have Netflix's freewheeling tech culture and Disney's nurturing creative culture. Both companies value creativity and culture, but in different ways. Netflix culture is about bold experimentation. They'll cancel a show that's not working and greenlight 10 new ones, guided by data, but also by gut creativity. Disney's culture historically is about preserving a legacy, carefully cultivating story and characters that can live forever. Netflix move fast and break things. Disney move thoughtfully, building an empire of story over generations. Yet, both approaches work. Each company has become a leader by leveraging these intangibles to suit its mission. Here's the surprise. Today, these giants are learning from each other's intangible strength. Disney, the old master of creativity, is adopting some of Netflix's culture innovation. For instance, launching Disney Plus streaming in 2019 meant Disney had to get more tech-savvy and take faster content risk. And Netflix, the disruptor, is realizing the value of Disney's kind of creativity, the power of iconic characters and franchises. Netflix is now trying to build franchises much like Disney has done with Marvel and Star Wars. In a way, Disney is becoming a bit more like Netflix, and Netflix a bit more like Disney. So, what now? To stay on top, each company must sharpen its use of these intangibles. Here's one big recommendation, and it's for Netflix. Netflix should invest in building its own Disney-style creative franchises. In other words, leverage that innovative culture to create iconic characters and worlds that can sustain fan love for decades. Imagine a Netflix original that's not just for a hit for one being-worthy season, but becomes a household name that kids dress up as in 10 years. Disney has dozens of these. Netflix is still searching for theirs. They've had success. Stranger Things caught lightning in a bottle. The Witcher, show franchises potential, but Netflix need to double down. This means nurturing creativity with a long view, invest in writers, allow story to grow, even consider theoretical release or theme park partnership eventually. By doing so, Netflix can create intangible IP assets that drive subscription and merchandising, giving it a diversified strength beyond just having the newest show on the block. Of course, the strategy has risk. Franchise building is expensive and uncertain. Netflix could pour millions into a project that doesn't catch on. There's also a culture challenge. Can a company famous for fast turnaround and big data adapt to patiently building a brand? It might conflict with Netflix fail fast ethos if they must stick with characters for long haul. Additionally, over-focusing on big franchises could alienate creators who come to Netflix for creative freedom outside the franchise model. But this risk can be managed with right balance. Keep experimental culture for new ideas while nurturing a few breakouts hits more deliberately. Studying Netflix and Disney made me reflect on myself. Netflix boat culture reminds me to embrace risk and grow through failure, and Disney's imagination, turning dreams into entire worlds, reconnected me with why I love storytelling. As a student, I don't just admire their success, I relate to the mindset behind it. I want to take Netflix's courage and Disney's creativity into my own future. In the end, Netflix and Disney show that intangible asset, a daring culture and creativity can redefine industry. One company conquered Hollywood with algorithm and autonomy, the other with imagination and inspiration. And now, as their paths converge and they exchange a bit each other's magic, we are witnessing a new chapter in entertainment. It makes you wonder, in a world where technology changes overnight, is the greatest asset something that never show up on a balance sheet at all? Culture, creativity. These are the engines that will write the next act of Netflix and Disney story, and perhaps inspire our own. The greatest assets are never on balance sheet. They're in our imagination, our courage, and our culture. Is the next Disney already inside Netflix, just waiting to be imagined?